We're going over a chip in the rails. People are always coming in from out of town and asking me to show them the sights and sounds of the city. But let's be honest, the fewer tourists to choke this city, the better. I don't even like those people. So I've decided to save everyone the time, expense, and aggravation involved by making this video tour. So sit back like the immobile spuds you are and enjoy as we go on an extramundane tour of Washington. Getting there. A word of warning. Beware the streets. Hey, get away!
Hey, buddy, I'm trying to make a living!
Washington was designed in the early 18th century by the famous French architect and misanthrope, I know, basically a redundancy, Charles-Pierre Lafont. This predates modern block naming technology that allows anybody to find their way around any city west of Atlanta. Before this time, European cities were designed by the European spaghetti method, which pretty much guaranteed that the New World wouldn't be discovered for 3 millennia. Lafont decided to use a combination of both methods, designing a trap so diabolical, the Humane Society forbids its use on laboratory rats. Unfortunately, there's no such protection for people. If you must drive, be sure to pack the following provisions and supplies: food, water, compass, a handgun so you won't look like you're from out of town, and watch close for the banners placed all over Washington, celebrating our nation's capital. And don't think you're out of trouble just because you're a woman and willing to stop at a gas station and ask for directions. There are no gas stations. Washington punishes its drivers by denying them gas. It's just as well. They wouldn't find where they were going anyway. Walking is the modus transportendi for many here in Washington. This is, of course, de-evolutionary and beneath contempt. Pedestrians are the bottom feeders of society. Bad things happen to pedestrians, and this is well and good according to Darwin's master plan. Pedestrian. Even the word sounds like pedophile. Let me just leave you with these words of advice. Friends don't let friends perambulate. If you're not willing to brave the streets and are too proud for the sidewalks, there is another choice: the metro. The stations themselves are clean and reminiscent of a Star Trek map painting, and the trains are even fairly new. But don't be overcome by confidence. The warning sign, made in Italy. Cars that never see over 40K on their odometer are made by these same loving hands. The loving care that goes into immobile, exotic cars everywhere is the exact same that crafted the train you ride. Enjoy.
On your way out of the metro, you will no doubt meet some of the community leaders asking for a donation. Shake their hand and ask for a sputum sample. Go ahead, it's patriotic.
Hey, buddy, I'm trying to run a government here!
Many people are surprised to find the abundance of wildlife that thrives within the city limits, within the very gears of the great machine of government. Now, they may look cute and cuddly, but beware, they can be vicious when cornered. Also, if you're driving downtown, try to be careful. They're protected by the Park Service, and crushing one under your Michelins could result in a fine of $20. A lot of people only think of Washington as the throbbing center of government, but it's oh so much more than that. It's a center of art and architecture unrivaled, the pinnacle of American civilization. Breathtaking buildings and memorable monuments crowd every corner and pack every park. But sadly, Washington's running out of space. Already, they've had to remove the Nixon Memorial, and my personal favorite, the monument to Reagan busting the air traffic controllers. Washington's a nice little place with one little secret to hide. It's a swamp. The bog's been drained, and most of the muck has been paved over, but bad blood will out. What does this mean? It means the humidity will hang around 99% from March till December, so don't forget to wear your air conditioner. The reflecting pool would be the perfect nesting ground for mosquitoes if the urine count didn't drive the pH below 4. Despite this, millions each year come to our nation's capital. The mayor's aware of this problem and is trying to combat it with a new slogan for the city: Washington, D.C., City of Shootings. It doesn't quite work, though. Even the Japanese tourists aren't buying it. But the Park Service has come up with a little surprise of its own. In each of the 14 major monuments, special roof tiles have been set to fall at random, hurtling touristward like a Romanesque pile driver. Once you've had your fill of big white marble buildings with no bathrooms, the next natural progression is to the museums. People say the Smithsonian Institute is among the best museums in the country. I don't know. Rating museums has to be like deciding which battery acid tastes best. I haven't been here since I was 12, but I can tell you what's inside all of them. That's Stones and Bones. That's the Star Trek building. Over there is Necrophilia and the Constitution. Has pictures, pictures, more pictures, really weird pictures. And that one's wooden masks and phallic symbols. With any luck, you can get the cultural requirements out of the way in 4 hours. 2 if you plan it right. But hey, what then? My bus doesn't leave until noon tomorrow, you're saying to yourself. Where's the action? Where's the nightlife? Where's the fun? Sadly, there is none. Many things can be said about Washington. It's a city of power, a city of prestige, a city of history. It's a clean city. It is not, however, a fun city. The problem is, Washingtonians are just no damn good at it. Geeks from all over America, class presidents, captains of the debate team, come here to work. And after years of wearing wedgies and kick-me signs, they're incapable of having a good time without embarrassing themselves and those around them. So there is no nightlife. What do? If you're the average Washingtonian, you stay in and work late. Stress up for tomorrow. This saves innocent bystanders from exposure to the dreaded nerds on holiday syndrome, which has hospitalized dozens in the last year alone. I misspelled that word. Oh, shit. Still, there are things to do. People come for 2, 4, even 6 years. This is the seat of our nation's capital. Buffoons from all 50 states, I'm talking about Congress, of course, come right here to spend your tax dollars. Right now, they're trying to decide if it's going to be National Prosthetic Limb Week or National Spearfisherman's Week. You can hear the debate raging, the fierce lobbying, and finally, it is decided. National Spearfisherman Prosthetic Limb and Dreidel Week. These men and women who lead and guide us work here on Capitol Hill, and you can visit them, really. All you have to do is look for the buildings with the metal detectors in the lobby. Just remember to ignore the guards. If you ask, they'll say no. So don't ask. Before you know it, you're in. Much as the congressmen hate to admit it, they work for you. So they've devised other methods to keep you out. Every Capitol Hill office building is a labyrinth that even a minotaur could be proud of. The scattered remains of the delegates from the Iowa Moose Lodge stand testament to the designer's ingenuity. Don't even try to find your congressman's office. It's hidden. But that doesn't matter. Just choose an office. Choose it at random. Senators are better in this respect because they have whole states, and you don't have to know the exact jurisdiction like you would for a House member. It doesn't really matter. Just say you're from Plunkett or Puny Town, and they're usually too embarrassed to admit they've never heard of it to question you. If they do ask, make sure to look disappointed or offended, or both. Make sure it's something you care deeply about, like legalizing bestiality or just anything that would raise bile in even Jeffrey Dahmer's throat. These people serve no purpose except entertainment, and at $127,000 a year for junior members, you might as well get your money's worth. Of course, you'll probably only get a staffer, but then again, it's your dime. No tour of Washington is complete without a trip to the White House, so there it is. Well, that's about it for the Extramundane tour of Washington. I'm John Calvert. I hope I've convinced you not to come. In addition to the gas tax, the tobacco tax, the liquor tax, the fun tax, and of course the sex tax, there have been a lot of ideas put forward to balance the national budget. Here's one of them.
Friday